Hi, Cail.
Hey, Mike.
Obviously, going down 3-0 in the first half of the first period, not maybe what you wanted to see. What do you think? What do you think caused sort of the early breakdowns, perhaps in the system?
Oh, we were not ready to play the type of game we needed to play. We talked about being ready, and we talked about exactly what we would be required, but when push came to shove, there we were on our heels. We weren't skating, and the result was, they looked really good. Give them credit, but we were not ready to play. So that put us in a big deficit.
And do you think the 4 days off might have had something to do with that, or was it just a matter of, no matter what the previous 4 days brought, your guys just weren't ready tonight to get going?
I think we have to own it that we just weren't ready. But if I were gonna place the first period on any phenomenon outside of us doing our jobs, it would be that we haven't been at home in a couple weeks, and all of a sudden sometimes you get back in your own building and you think that things are just going to work themselves out. You just need to show up, and that's sort of what it looked like for us. And you had a hungry team come in that played well in the first period, and all of a sudden we were on the wrong end of it.
We'll jump over to Patrick.
Yes, Cail, when a team like yours, you've warned them to be ready, to be prepared, and then it still doesn't happen. Is there a cause for that? I mean, what goes into that?
I think that it is a case where just it's part of the maturity of our group. Is I know that we lost our last game of the road trip. We did have a good run, and I think part of the maturity of the group is to for everyone to understand that you can have a great run. It doesn't guarantee that anything's going to work out for you. And I think that can sometimes be where it comes from, is we get confident, feeling really good, and that confidence gets a bit inflated, and you get away from the process. And when you play against a team like Laval, they'll keep you honest. Like, they're on you, and if you don't do the right things with pucks, then you're in trouble. And I think that we're a little overconfident going into that one.
In your experience, can a team feel too good about itself at
Yep.
times?
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure. I don't know if we felt too good about ourselves. I think that we weren't mentally prepared to grind really hard today. And right off the bat, I thought that our very beginning of the game was okay, but a case in point, we find ourselves in the penalty box right away, and then we don't execute properly on things that we've worked on the penalty kill, and off we go. So I think it's a good indication that we just mentally weren't all the way to where we needed to be.
Head over to Paige.
Hi, Kale. Some sources had you guys and the Rocket ranked pretty even going into this game. How did it feel when you guys actually got to playing?
Didn't feel good in the first period, I can tell you that. But when in the moments of the game where we played our game, it felt good. It felt like two good teams going at it. Those moments were too few and far between our mismanagement of pucks and our frequency into the penalty box. There's just things that we didn't put our best foot forward. Aside from some moments when we were really in their face, we had some good body contact. We were physical. We were making some plays, but other than that, we didn't bring enough tonight.
And I know it's only the first game against these guys, but have you noticed any differences in the Rocket compared to some of the other teams you've seen this season?
Oh, I think they're a strong team. I think that they have elements of some of the other teams that we've seen. Manitoba plays a good sort of in-your-face tight game in terms of defensively. I think that the Rocket do the same thing. I think they're hard to get through 5-on-5, and that is a situation which sort of, if you get enticed to try to play through them, it's trouble. And we did that way too many times tonight, where we just didn't play behind them and take the hard route to making our goals.
Thank you.
Go back to Mike.
And both teams coming into this game, off multiple days of rest, and but obviously a very different result from the get-go. Do you think that maybe part of that comes from Laval's construction, more of a veteran-laden team, maybe being ready to come out right away?
I think that can help, but we have some really strong veterans in our room too. So I don't want to say that that it was that we don't have veteran help. We have some excellent people in our locker room, but at the same time we heard them talking about the right things to do, and it just didn't seem to resonate with our team, and some people just weren't really getting the message. So it's one of those, we're gonna turn the page, but I think we talked about it in the room. We have to learn our lesson there, that that team was more ready to play what we considered a big battle in terms of two good teams going at it, and I think we were a little bit reliant on the fact that, hey, we're at home and let's go out and show how good we are, and as a result we weren't ready to go.
And Alex obviously goes up to the Flames yesterday, and coming down Michael Stone. What did you make of that switch in your lineup tonight?
Well, I think we got a lot from Michael Stone for his first game in a year. That was pretty impressive. I thought that he was strong. He played a fair amount of ice time. He gave us some offense in terms of creating from the blue line, and he gave us some physicality. After we called a timeout in the first, he came out and was really physical, made a big hit. It spurred our bench. We didn't see the results right away, but there's your veteran presence. Like, there's your guy saying, like, hey, we got to turn this thing around. We got to make sure this doesn't get away from us and lose a 6-1 game. And as a result, we're able to pull out a big point. Bottom line, like, this is pro hockey. When you can get points, that matters. So plays like that from Michael Stone, and having those veterans around, keeping the guys pointed in the right direction, managed to get us a point tonight, which I am proud of that fact. I think our group did a good job of staying with it on a night when we weren't our best.
And my final one, it just seems like there have been a lot of occasions this year where Matthew Phillips has come in and come up with those huge goals, just either at the end of the game or in overtime, And how do you think that he is consistently able to manage that pressure?
I don't think he doesn't have a clock on it in terms of, like, what's the time and the score and what are the relative chances of me fixing this problem. I think he just sees it as he's the same all the time, and that's why he's excelled and proven people wrong and bubbled to the top so often, is like he has that character that's like, okay, I'll like, give me a chance, and every time I go on the ice, I'm going to try to accomplish something. So with him, I feel like it's a law of averages. You give him enough time and he'll make something happen, because he never quits.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Head back to Patrick.
Yes, Cail, with Louis, the circumstances which he came in tonight, and then the team's slow start in front of him early, how did you think he settled into the game as it went on?
I thought he did a real strong job of settling in, because it was a rough start. And again, another player who hasn't played hockey in a long time. It's not an easy position to come in like that. Like a skater, I think you're able to sort of blend in a bit more, but Louis is right in the mix. Last line of defense, had a rough period, and then made some huge saves in the second and third. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for again, I would credit him with us getting a point too. I think that was a big deal. And I think it's a big deal for our team to be able to claw back from a 3-0 deficit and find a way. We don't like the overtime loss at all, but there are some takeaways that are positive in that.